Hey, it's Dash Mash, and in this video, we're going to be looking at all the Sega Game Gear Virtual Console games that they have up here on the 3DS eShop before the 3DS eShop officially closes on March 27th of 2023. So all the Virtual Console games that we see in this video, we'll be looking at any video or game trailer that they may have for these specific Virtual Console games. We're going to be looking at all the in-game photos that they have up here on the eShop, and also interestingly see how people rated these games as well. If you get enjoyment out of this video, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more eShop or Virtual Console related content. Now, if you get enjoyment out of this video, please consider checking out my other videos, because I made specific system related videos very similar to this one for every single 3DS and Wii U Virtual Console system. Like, for an example, I made a specific Virtual Console video just like this one on the original Game Boy Virtual Console games, the Game Boy Color, the Super Nintendo, and also the Nintendo Entertainment Virtual Console system games as well. I'll have those videos linked in the description, and yeah, please check that out once you're done watching this video. Now, I'm not going to be talking through most of the portion of this video because I want to recapture that 3DS window shopping like experience, and I just feel like not talking is the best way to do that. But no worries, I made a whole bunch of mini videos where I specifically made about these Virtual Console games. Not every single one, but most of them. And in those videos I do talk in the background, and I'll tell you my thoughts and opinions, if I have any good and fun story about that specific game, that with any personal experience that I went through, I'll tell it. And yeah, those videos are really fun. You can find those videos on my channel. Now, if there is a specific Game Gear Virtual Console game that you really want to see, this video will be timestamped, so you could go in the description box and it will lead you straight to whatever Game Gear Virtual Console game you want to see. Now, I have a question for this video that I would love to see you guys answer in the comment section. We received about 5 Virtual Console systems on the 3DS Virtual Console. Now I'll name them off. The Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, and also the Sega Game Gear Virtual Console games. Those are the 5 systems that we did receive, and my question is, what system should have made it on the 3DS Virtual Console that was never on it? And I'd love to hear you guys' answer down below. Now, I'll just give off a few of them that I think that are missing. One of the bigger ones is Game Boy Advance. Where's Game Boy Advance games at, right? I was very surprised. I know during most of the 3DS's lifespan, I was convinced that they would eventually release Game Boy Advance games, but they didn't. I guess Nintendo's strategy behind that is they really wanted for people to own both a 3DS and a Wii U in order for you to have the full Virtual Console experience, because if you didn't know, like, Game Boy Advance was like a Wii U exclusive thing, and Nintendo really promoted that back in the day. They really advertised and pushed like Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U Virtual Console. So that's something interesting. Another thing is, what about DS games? They made DS games available on the Wii U Virtual Console, but not on the 3DS. Now, the thing about it is, when you look at the Wii U, they did release original Wii games on the Wii U eShop, but you would have thought that they would have released original DS games on the 3DS eShop, but they never did that, and it's like, what the heck? Now, it was awesome that the Wii U received original DS games, but I mean, I'm pretty sure people would have loved to had the option to digitally download some of these original DS games on their 3DS, because it's annoying having to carry like a whole bunch of 3DS cartridges with you, like if you go on a long road trip, and to have that like all downloaded on your system and you could just like easily access it. I mean, that would have been a really cool idea. Another system that I think would have been really cool would have been the Virtual Boy. Now, hear me out. I know the Virtual Boy is known as a very bad console and Nintendo's worst failure. But the Virtual Boy did have some very interesting games, and I'm specifically thinking about like the Wario Land game that existed on there. But it would have been really cool. I think the 3DS would have been the perfect spot for Virtual Boy games to be ported onto it, because they could have, put those games in 3D. Because I know Nintendo was pushing the 3D aspect on the 3DS. And how cool would it have been if like you were actually able to play Virtual Boy games in 3D, and maybe they could have like did a black and gray filter, kind of like that's what they do for like a lot of emulators when it comes to the Virtual Boy. But yeah, comment down below like what system you guys feel like should have been on there. By the way, Sega Genesis games were available on the 3DS eShop. I do have to point that out, especially since this is a Sega Game Gear video. So they didn't really classify those as virtual console games, but what they did with the Sega Genesis games was they remade them in full 3D, which is honestly a lot cooler than just adding them to the virtual console. But either way, yeah, definitely. I'm curious about what your guys' thoughts and opinions are. Like, do you agree with me with the systems that I mentioned, or is there any system that I'm missing? Comment down below. Now, let's go ahead and let's finally get started with this video. Hey, by the way, pay attention right over here. They'll cycle through 3 different photos with each of these Game Gear Virtual Console games. I think that's a really cool feature that I'm going to add into every mini video clip that I'm showing for each Game Gear Virtual Console game on the 3DS. So definitely pay attention to this. We're doing it for preservation's sake. Yeah, this is the end of the video, and thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video. And definitely, I absolutely love the fact that they added Game Gear games to the 3DS Virtual Console, especially with that system being not only a retro handheld, but also being the only non-Nintendo system to officially appear on the 3DS Virtual Console. It was so cool, and as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong. I didn't do that much research into this, but Sega Gen, I mean, these Game Gear Virtual Console games, as far as I'm aware, it's probably the best official way of playing Game Gear games, because I don't think Sega has ever re-released Game Gear games outside of the Virtual Console. I could be wrong on that, by the way. Maybe there is some sort of compilation collection out there that has Game Gear games. But again, it was so cool, and it's so hard to say if they'll ever re-release Game Gear games ever again. Um, I mean, maybe in the future, Sega can make like a dedicated game towards like a Game Gear collection, like the best Game Gear games all in one cartridge on the Nintendo Switch as an example, or any like future Nintendo hardware that we don't know of. But still, it was still really cool. And definitely comment down below if you have any Game Gear games on your 3DS. Whether if you made a last second purchase, or maybe you made a purchase a long time ago, or because this video will be posted well after the eShop shut down, maybe you modded your 3DS and you decided to, you know, you're just adding games to your modded 3DS, and you went ahead and you just added it because, I don't know, just the fact that you could play Game Gear games on a 3DS was quite awesome. But either way, I had to end off this video, and thank you so much. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it, because I'm definitely doing this for preservation's sake. So have a good day. Goodbye.